Amber has perjured herself, and then Elaine repeated it. Do you remember during the trial, Amber testified she had spent $6 million in attorney's fees. Camille immediately jumped up, objected, and said, "Your Honor, this is part of a motion in limine." During Elaine's closing, she repeated that, even though that was part of a motion in limine, meaning the court had already ruled that attorney's fees didn't get to be brought up during the trial. And she said, this woman has already spent $6 million in attorney's fees. It just came out that Amber was not paying her attorney's fees. She had a homeowner's insurance policy that was. The gray-haired woman that you saw multiple times coming in and out of the back room with Amber was actually a representative from the insurance company. So not only did Amber lie blatantly on the stand and say she had spent the $6 million on attorney's fees, and that was one of the reasons she hadn't turned over the donations. Elaine knew who is paying her bill, but she repeated it in closing. I would not want to be Elaine and have this reported as an ethical violation and explain away that you didn't know who was paying your bill. You had no idea it was the insurance company and not Amber?
Big news! There is enough evidence to imprison Amber Heard and her lawyer. Even though the Johnny Depp defamation trial has officially concluded, there are still hundreds of statements within the court proceedings that can be used to press other charges against Amber Heard, and one of these may not only land her in jail, but her attorney Elaine Bredehoft. But what insane crime could they have committed during the court proceedings which could lead to this? Let's find out in this video. In a TikTok video posted on a Reddit thread by a user, an attorney from the Turnbull Brockmire Law Group explains a huge blunder that Amber and her lawyer made during the court proceedings, which could have serious consequences. According to the attorney named Adele Louise Brockmire, during the trial, Amber had testified that she spent $6 million in attorney fees. To this, Depp's lawyer Camille immediately objected, stating that this was a motion in limine, which in layman's terms means a motion in which a party asks the court to exclude, limit, or include evidence before it is offered at trial. The court decides the motion outside the presence of a jury. Since this objection was sustained, this meant that Amber or her team could not mention the $6 million legal fees in front of the jury anymore. But this was not to be. Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine Bredehoft, took to the stand on Friday to present her closing argument to the jury in the defamation case against her by ex-Johnny Depp, and claimed that her client had paid upwards of $6 million in fees to her legal team. According to the New York Post, Bredehoft claimed in her statement that Heard had been forced to pay up more than $6 million in fees to her lawyers in the past 6 years since her divorce from Depp. She also claimed that those legal fees were the reason that the Aquaman actress was unable to make the full $7 million donation she had pledged to the ACLU and a children's hospital after the divorce settlement. According to Bredehoft, Heard had paid extraordinarily high legal fees since Depp sued her and started a smear campaign against her. Now, this was very significant. Elaine repeated this claim even though it was part of a motion in limine. But this is not where things end. They get even more confusing. The identity of Amber Heard's financial benefactor has just been brought to light. Pennsylvania-based trial attorney Heather Heidelbaugh offered insight into their identity while speaking with the New York Post. According to Heidelbaugh, there is coverage if you are sued for defamation based on how much you pay through coverage. The insurance company will keep in its back pocket the option of denying coverage at the end of the day. Denying coverage means refusing to pay the plaintiff, in this case, Mr. Depp. A lot of insurance policies provide coverage for defamation, but they have an exclusion in which says, "We will not cover any intentional wrongdoing." In order to win a defamation case against a public figure, you have to show intentional wrongdoing. However, sometimes what it requires to get the judgment kicks you out of the policy that may pay for the judgment. That's the dilemma. These hypotheses have been offered by Virginia-based appellate lawyer Stephen Emmert in an interview with the New York Times. Virginia-based appellate lawyer Stephen Emmert has offered these possibilities in an interview with the New York Times. Emmert said, if she doesn't have the money, then his avenue, while she's pursuing an appeal, is to try to execute on property she owns. What this basically means is that Amber is not paying her her legal fees from her own pocket. Her home insurance company is paying for her. Despite this, she testified under oath in court that she herself had paid $6 million in legal fees, whereas this was a factually incorrect statement. Not only this, but her lawyer Elaine repeated the same claim in her closing argument. So not only did Amber perjure herself, but her lawyer openly committed the same mistake and violated the motion in Lamine simultaneously. If this is looked into and inquired further, both of them could end up in jail, since this is a serious criminal violation. This news broke the internet, with hundreds flocking in to share their views. A user tweeted, "What's funny is I believe Elaine lied in her closing arguments. Go back and listen. I believe Elaine mentioned Amber could not pay the $6 million attorney bill, but Amber's homeowner's insurance is paying the bill, and Elaine knew that." Another person wrote, "Liars and cheats generally have to resort to second-class lawyers, as was evident by Amber Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft, who confused evidence of what was excluded via motion in Lamine with what could come in." Seriously, how does a lawyer at this level make that mistake? Finally, this user had a unique insight. They said, "You really didn't need to hear. The expression said it all." And then Elaine shifted to an entirely different issue when she resumed her statement. It looks clear Elaine was skirting a violation of motion in Lamine concerning the UK trial judgment. So should Amber and Elaine be jailed for this? Do share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching right until the end, and have a great day.